everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, or probably tell, I am driving, so I'm going to keep my eyes on the road, but this is the time that I have to make an intro, and I thought I would take this opportunity to say that lately I don't know what I'm doing. So as you know, my name is Karen Lavenderclothesline, but with the price of clothing going up and up and up, I have just been picking up and selling more hard goods than ever. So I wonder if at some point I'm not going to be selling clothing anymore. I mean, I think I'll always pick some clothing up, but I really see my store going more and more the way of hard goods. Now, not the big crazy hard goods I've been selling, like the church stained glass windows and the Dyson vacuums, you know, the big canister ones, but more so like oddities maybe. I don't know if there's enough of a market to sustain, you know, a full-time living selling that. So right now I am on the way to a Goodwill or two or three. I'm going to do quite a bit today, I think. First I'm having lunch with Bill and Dave, Gnome the Frog, to catch up, and then I'm thrifting with a friend, and we'll see where we wind up. But I really just feel lately that clothing is just too much work and too high of a buy-in price. So the average piece of clothing, I'm going to say, has become $7 or $8, whereas my average cost of hard goods is more like maybe $2.99 to $4.99. Now that might not seem like a huge, you know, difference, but over the course of buying hundreds of items per week, you know, hundreds of dollars, that can really add up. So just figured I'd share those thoughts with you. Hope you guys are all doing well. I am still looking to see if somebody will have a reseller meetup. That is stuck in my brain. You know, when I get on something, I'm really bad that way. I just like, who can I talk into having a reseller meetup and doing all the work, and I can just attend and hang out with you guys. All right, so like I said, I'm on my way to, well, first Panera Bread to have a quick lunch and a bite to eat with Bill and Dave, and then Goodwill, and then I'm not quite sure what thrift stores. I do have about 20 items waiting by my desk to list. I did that this morning, got all the photos done, and yeah, I put the first load of laundry in for eBay, and I left it in the washing machine. So there's always that, but that's my day. That's me sharing everything with you. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'll probably make an outro, so I won't say go out and get what's yours, but you know the drill. Go out and get what's yours. So we are at the Willow Street location of Goodwill. And as you can see, I started without you guys. I put a vintage mail sorter in my cart. That was aisle number 1. Here I'm finding these fans, wall decor. Not quite sure what to call these. I think this is raffia. And I do look at them, but I wasn't quite sure about the motif or the design, the shape of them. So I did leave those behind. I know quite a few people are decorating with those type of things for wall art. It's very boho, mixes into a lot of different decor, but I just wasn't feeling those. So if you're noticing that the video footage is different, I didn't realize I was going to film in this store, so I am filming with my phone, which is an i8 Plus. So this is not going to look maybe as clear as the GoPro, but we're just making do. Now, I don't get to this store as often as the big Goodwill or a couple of the other places I go to. There's some canned peaches. It's amazing how much food comes into these stores. But I do like to pop in here as I'm in the area quite often. Here I'm finding a basket. Now I knew this wasn't Longaberger or Petersboro, and when I turned it over, this is a Canadian maple basket, Heritage Mint. I think I've only found this company once or twice. It doesn't bring as high a profit value as some of the other companies, but I love that design. I think that's really multi-use, and in my cart it goes. As you can tell, a little divided monkey pod dish, I should say. I'm very attracted to clocks. Whenever I see a clock or think about a clock like that, I always think of Tom Hanks in Castaway. In my area, I find quite a few of these pieces. This is a clock, a homemade clock or handmade clock, and they're using a wood-burning tool to create this design. Some people draw it on first and do freehand. There are stencils to do it. I don't pick these up too often unless it's a beautiful landscape or a tree or something really finely done. This piece looks like it was done by a beginner, maybe a first piece, so I leave this behind. And we are on to the pink and red aisle. I feel like the pink and red aisle is very funny because I pick up a lot of home decor. I don't know that I find too many, home decor pieces, but I always take a look. If you look downstairs in my basement footage, I don't carry a lot of red and pink. And it's funny to think about it that way, but my mind separates things into different categories, but also color. I thought this teddy was very detailed. Not quite sure who's making this. I didn't care for the expression on her face, but I thought she was quite interesting. My all-time favorite were the dolls that I picked up that were primitive. I will try to insert a screenshot. They had the best expressions, and that memory stays in my mind of that sale. So you can see how quickly I'm going up and down the aisles because the aisles are quite small in this store. I don't pick up a lot in this store. I just think they don't get as many good donations as some of the other stores. Right away, I recognize this floral pattern. This is Reed Drummond, the Pioneer Woman. That little cassoulet dish won't bring much, but I have a hard time leaving the Pioneer Woman's items behind, so I pick it up. All right, I love a good striped mug, and I am not picking up any mugs unless they're super, super high profit because I just have too many of them, and they do sell, but they're quite the slow seller. But as always, we have to group like things together on the shelf for the next person. Here is a tapestry bag that I'm clearing things out of the way to find. I pick these bags up if they have cats or some animal print that's highly collected. I didn't feel the snowman print was going to be a high seller, but I have sold quite a bit of that. I'm going to call it tapestry. I don't know if that's the proper term. I've picked up quite a few of those in wall hangings, blankets, and tote bags. Okay, can we all just take a moment and say, what is this? That stumped me. Is that an ornament? Did somebody make that? No idea. But of course I had to take a look at it. So while I'm doing this voiceover, I have my windows open in my house because it's such a gorgeous day here, so you might hear the birds chirping in the background or kids playing. But I love opening the windows, when that humidity finally clears. So nice. Now, I didn't think these plates were really anything, but there was a large stack of them, and I really liked the green. I'm not sure if it was Anchor Hawking or who that is, but look at all of those. Somebody needs those. Maybe they have a green theme going on. Another little, I call these cassoulet dishes, but I didn't really recognize it as anything I should pick up. For a brief moment or two in my reselling history, I have tried scanning books. Hasn't everybody tried this? Because it seems like such an easy thing to do. Nope. Can I just say how much work this is? Look at the volume of books, and this is a small store. Crazy. Okay, here's an advertisement, shopgoodwill.com. That proves that Goodwill is online, and they do pull better items to sell online. So for everybody out there thinking that Goodwill doesn't know their market, doesn't know what they have, they absolutely do, and they have a very big presence online. Here we are looking at the back wall Christmas and holiday decorations. I'm not quite sure who would want a knitting granny. That wasn't even a cookie jar. I do pick up Christmas inventory all year if I find it. I'm not the type of seller that just sells or picks up at certain times of the year. I pick up everything all year long and I list it all year long. I really don't have the time to separate out things and save things or hold things back, for a certain season. Okay, I thought these figurines were quite good. The painting was good. The eyes are centered, which a lot of times in the cheaper figurines, you don't see that. The sandals on that was not, on this figurine was not well done, but his face was quite good. So I start to take a look at these. I'm only finding 3 of the figurines from this Song of Peace musician, and I left those behind. Anytime I see a limited edition number printed, a lot of times I don't pick those up. Could be a big mistake. Sometimes I wonder what percentage of these items sell, because a lot of it, in my opinion, is not well done. It's broken, damaged, and I'm not sure what the bigger stores, do with this, that have a lot of this, that it doesn't have a bins, next door to put these things into. Now, we all know Goodwill Route 30 in Lancaster has the bins, so everything unsold is coming over into the bins. I imagine that's going to increase greatly because the prices in the regular side of the store have gone up greatly. And while I have to change my business model or my way of picking up a little bit, I have changed many times doing things different ways to just accommodate or adjust to what is happening in the market. So you really have to be able to turn on a dime, and things are constantly changing. As you can see, many of the shelves don't really have a lot on it, but quite a few interesting things. I did consider these gold shoes for a moment because Halloween is coming, but they wanted $10. No way. I probably would have bought those if I had found them at a yard sale and they were $1 or $2. Not quite sure what costume needs those gold shoes, but I probably would have picked those up and probably would have had them for a couple of years in my store. I did like this horse print, and I looked at the back. Dean Krauser, and I should have looked up Dean Krauser, and I did not because I was running this day. I was going from thing to thing. And this vase here, I like the shape of this. I like the theme of it, kind of like that native print. I think this was student art piece. A student did this. Okay, I didn't like the sun. So I'm judging this whole piece on that it's not finely done, and I didn't like the way that sun was looking. The rest of it I thought was quite good. Again, this could be a mistake on my part. I felt like this was not really very well done, but who knows? You guys correct me in the comments down below. And here I'm going to end this video with men's ties. While I don't pick up as many as I used to, I always take a quick moment and look at ties because there is very good profit capability in ties if you find the right one. Now, this is handmade, which is good but doesn't mean anything. I go by brand for every tie. So if I find Versace or something, even Donald Trump ties still sell well. All of course, Louis Vuitton. You got to be careful though, because a lot of it is faked for the better brands. But I'm going to insert a few still shots of solds, other people's solds, to show you what kind of money ties can bring. So I do go by branding. I look up everyone. Condition is definitely next, because silk ties are very hard to clean in my opinion. So here are a few screenshots of ties that are sold. These are not my listings, but I thought I would just give you a quick look at the patterns and the motifs and just the general aesthetic of these ties. Now, it doesn't mean that when you find a tie that looks like this, that it's necessarily one of these brands, but they're very bold and just beautifully done. Versace, of course, $325 for 4 ties. Next up is Gianni Versace, same company. This is the Couture line, $500 for, this is iconic, the black and gold print, just beautiful. Here is a tie that I included because you might not take a second look at this. This is all hand embroidered. I believe this is silk. It's from Japan. Okay, I think it's Yohiji Yamamoto. Not sure about that, but $490 for one tie. Just amazing. Here again, Versace. I guess I took a lot of screens of Versace because they're so beautiful. Here's Hermes. Hermes a lot of times has a very iconic look again, a lot of tassels, very Baroque looking, I'm going to say. $400, one tie. Could you imagine finding this? Just crazy. Okay, Donald Trump. I don't want to talk politics at all, but the ties do bring good money. Now, they don't bring as good, a profit as they were. They have cooled. I see quite a few of the large lots of ties. To me, that signals people really starting to dump the inventory. Here's a new tie, this red one, $189. And if you look this tie up, this seller is selling quite a few of these. I imagine this is the Trump store themselves selling it, just a guess, because their photos are really professional. Here's a tie. You can see it's just on a regular wood table or whatever. Again, Donald Trump, $75. Another one, $55. So this last photo is a tie that I sold probably, I'm going to say 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I found it in a community aid thrift store. I really hadn't sold a lot of ties, but you can see the print is much different. Right away I knew it was something, and the profit was amazing because I believe I paid $1.99. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Go out and get what's yours.